You can now get a 30-day trial to experience The Athletic for free. Visit the link in the description below to try it now.
Hello, we're going to talk about Chris Wood and why Newcastle spent so much money on him. Here he is, playing up front for them there. So why have they spent so much money on Chris Wood? Well, there's a few reasons for it. The first thing, the kind of obvious ones, right? He is a consistent and proven goal scorer at Premier League level, and they only really have one of them. There's Callum Wilson, who is injured. Also, Joel Linton, well, he plays in midfield now and again. So it's something that Eddie Howe's been doing recently is playing this 4-1-4-1, but he started off when he joined by playing a kind of 4-4-2. So you'd have Wilson and Joel Linton up front, something like that. He's also played a back three, which I don't need to show you. But this is the kind of system he seems to want to play, is a 4-1-4-1. Now, the problem that Newcastle have is that these guys in the middle, in midfield, without wanting to be too harsh, they're not very good. And so Newcastle's weakness is in the middle of the pitch. The best players they have tend to be out wide. Ryan Fraser, St Maximin, that's their best players, and they play out wide. They're very fast, they're able to utilise wide areas, get in behind people and dribble with the ball. As we learned from other videos, St Maximin is the dribbliest boy. Now, Wood gives them options in how they get from back to front quicker. So rather than trying to play out from defence and play through like this, neat and tidy, teams who are good at pressing and with much better players than them can push up. They're really close to the goal. If there's a turnover anywhere around this sort of area, it's really dangerous playing against a good team like Liverpool, City, basically every other team in the Premier League apart from Newcastle. Now, the way to get out of this situation is maybe quite crude, but you just hit the ball long to someone like Chris Wood. So you go from the back, either from Dubravka or Lascelles. He's able to win a header or take the ball down, and the entire team moves up as one. And it means you're further away from your own goal, which is a good way to defend. The further away you are from your own goal, in theory, it's harder for the opposition to score. And that means that they're taking out the 30-second period it takes to pass the ball, through lines and players all the way up to get here. That's what good teams do because they have good players. That's what you need. But there's something else about Chris Wood that makes this work particularly well, and it's this. It's this, you see. Here's the secret. Chris Wood is one of the best headers of the ball in the entire league. This is from FA Ref. He's won 113 aerial duels, headers, whatever you want to call them. So he has done that far more than anyone else. Ethan Pinnock's a defender. Even Tony plays for Brentford as well as Pinnock. Striker, it's a big number. It's not per game, but it's a big difference. Comparatively, he wins an awful lot more. This could be to do with stylistic things that Burnley are they like to go from back to front a lot as well. It's worked very well for them over the last few seasons. And so it looks to me like Eddie Howe's trying to get more options for himself and how he can get the team up the pitch more quickly so they're not defending in their own third as much and relying on having to pass it out and then going up the wings with the wide players. Because the other thing that's relevant about that, and especially with these guys wide being the best players, is that Chris Wood is now far more of a threat in the box. So when they play the ball down the wings, and this is where most of their attacking play comes, they can get balls into the box from wide areas that Wood can either win a header and shoot, maybe score, or just win a header, it knocks it down, and someone like Joel Linton can follow up and try and get a strike on the second ball. If he's playing alongside Wilson in the 4-4-2 that Eddie Howe seems to like, then again, you've got big and little, and that means that Wilson can run on behind. Wilson's better at running with the ball and running at players and is good in transition. Wood means you don't have to always play in transition and sit deep. You can push your line further up the pitch, that is defensive line here, and then play from them up to here and let other guys get in on it. And it means that you get far more out of players like Fraser and St Maximin in transition as well as being in possession in the final third. And then say Fraser doesn't play, say you put a left footer on here, who knows where they're going to sign, he might come inside here, and then new signing Kieran Trippier can come up, and again, Trippier's delivery from wide is superb, also from set pieces, and again, Wood is an enormous threat from set pieces, so something like corners, free kicks, anything from around these sorts of areas where Trippier is here, or a corner obviously, means that Newcastle have extra threat, and it could be that as one set piece goal is what the difference between them getting 1 point in 3 or 0 points in 1, and that's what Wood's going to be really good for. So it's a lot of money, an awful lot of money for a player who is 30 years old and who you wouldn't consider to be in the elite of the Premier League, but it makes so much sense tactically and just to give Newcastle options with the forwards they have already.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do enjoy Tifo, then you'll probably also like The Athletic. If you watch our tactics videos, you should go and read Michael Cox. If you're into data, read Mark Carey. And if you're into transfers, it's David Ornstein. Plus, if you're a fan of any Premier League team, then there's a journalist dedicated to you, and you can try it for free for 30 days now by clicking the link in the description.